The dining hall buzzed with conversation, heavy boots shuffling across the gritty ground, metal cups clattering among weary soldiers. Suddenly, the colonel's voice pierced through the commotion, harsh and condescending, slicing through the ambient noise like steel. His attention focused on the young marksman sitting at the table's far end, her weapon resting against the nearby wall. A mocking grin spread across his face as he spoke loud enough for everyone to witness. "I've never laid eyes on such a budget firearm. Did they pull you from the discount bin, kid?" The cruel laughter that erupted was dense with shame and ridicule. Her face flushed with heat, yet she remained silent. She merely dropped her eyes, fingertips running along the battle-worn wood of her gun. "Before we reveal what unfolded, please comment below with your location. I'm always excited to know where my audience is tuning in from." The colonel assumed the incident was over. He anticipated her retreat, expected her to disappear into obscurity like countless others before her. However, deep within her soul, fury and remembrance awakened. That weapon held no monetary value for her. It meant everything. It had belonged to her father, transported across countless practice ranges, lovingly maintained through long evenings. She could still recall his gentle humming beside the campfire. Each mark etched into its frame narrated tales of dedication and endurance. Budget firearm. Never, it was beyond price. She remained seated in silence, but gossip spread like wildfire. Some fellow soldiers expressed disapproval through headshakes. Others couldn't meet her gaze. Several felt sympathy for her situation. She acted oblivious to their reactions. Though her hands shook as she reached for her drink, she believed she'd never encounter him again, the colonel who had ridiculed her. She was mistaken. The assignment arrived with the sunrise. An important enemy was moving through the territory, protected by vast distances and challenging landscape. The objective appeared straightforward but demanded brutal precision. Eliminate the target from beyond 1,000 meters. Any mistake would result in casualties. As the unit assembled along the hillside, the colonel positioned himself with crossed arms, that same arrogant smile present, anticipating her failure. "Time to demonstrate what your plaything can accomplish," he taunted. Breeze swept across the desolate terrain, stirring her hair and carrying traces of cordite and earth. She descended to the ground, resting her face against the weathered stock of her M24. The cold metal against her skin helped calm her pulse. Through her optic, reality compressed into a wavering outline in the distance. She calculated for wind patterns, range, and the invisible forces of nature itself. The colonel moved closer, his mockery persistent. "A child with her toy gun, this ought to be entertaining," his voice stung, yet she dismissed his words. In that critical moment, only three things existed: herself, her rifle, and the marking her father had once carved into the metal, a precision symbol, representing accuracy and dignity. The gathering of soldiers held their breath as her finger found the trigger's position. Stillness enveloped them, heavy with anticipation. The gunshot resonated like a thunderclap, fracturing the silence completely. Debris lifted from the far-off slope where the enemy had stood. A form crumpled to the ground. The strike was flawless, perfectly centered. Single shot, confirmed elimination. The colonel's expression turned to stone. His smugness vanished, replaced by something more profound, something he couldn't mask. His gaze fixed on the weapon, on the precision marking catching the morning light. Whispers transformed into murmurs, and murmurs evolved into cheers. Men who had questioned her abilities stood in recognition. She set down her rifle, hands now stable, heartbeat returning to normal. Yet within this victory, uncertainty lingered. Had proving herself to someone who had demeaned her been necessary? Should his opinion have mattered at all? Was this vindication or merely instinct for survival? The doubt flickered briefly, but then she observed her teammates' expressions, the relief in their features, their thankfulness. They remained breathing because of her actions. That realization was sufficient. The colonel approached, his tone subdued now, ego stripped away. "That weapon isn't cheap," he conceded. Speaking almost to himself, she held his stare without wavering, and for once, he was the one to look elsewhere. Because bravery doesn't diminish, it endures, emerging precisely when circumstances demand it. The same firearm that had faced ridicule under the mess hall's dim lighting now shone in the morning sun. Bearing the burden of paternal love and a daughter's unwavering precision, I appreciate you taking time for this narrative. If it resonated with you, please share your reactions in the comments. I read each response personally. And if you think stories celebrating courage like this one should reach more people, please consider subscribing.